Hello, my fellow veterans. This is Ranger Johnson, Master Trainer with Champions for Veterans. So thank y'all for joining us today. And I'm excited to teach a class that's very important to give you some information about the new PACT Act of 2022. As a matter of fact, it went into effect on October the 1st, 2022. And there should be a link also in the video that you can click on and go straight into the PACT Act and give you more details. Again, this is an overview, and a lot of veterans have been looking for this, and so let's jump right into it. And thank y'all for joining us. Appreciate that. All right. So the PACT Act, and again, this came straight from the VA's website. So the PACT Act and your VA benefits. The PACT Act is a new law that expands VA health care and benefits for veterans exposed to burn pits and other toxic substances. This law helps to provide generations of veterans and their survivors, which is a big thing, with care and benefits they've earned and deserved. And as we get deeper into the presentation, we'll talk about the survivors also. So, what the PACT Act and how will it affect my VA benefits and care? Glad you asked. The PACT Act is perhaps the largest health care and benefits expansion in VA history. For the full name of the law is the Sergeant First Class SFC Heath Robinson, honoring our promise to address comprehensive toxins, PACT Act. So, a lot of vets are having problems with, burn pit issues and things like that. This also takes the burn pits and also the Vietnam veterans dealing with the things that they've dealt with Agent Orange, radiation, into consideration. So it's not just the veterans in the Gulf War, it goes all the way back to the Vietnam era. That's what makes this act so huge and important for us veterans. All right. The PACT Act will bring these changes. Expands and extends eligibility for VA health care for veterans with toxic exposure and veterans of the Vietnam, Gulf War, and post 9/11 eras. Adds more than 20 new presumptive conditions for burn pits and other toxic exposures. Adds more presumptive exposure locations for Agent Orange and radiation. Requires VA to provide a toxic exposure screening to every veteran enrolled in the VA health care. This is big time. This is going to help a lot of veterans. Helps the VA improve research, staff education, and treatment related to toxic exposures. So it's going to help the VA, get more facilities, whether it's contract facilities or VA facilities to help in treating a lot of these veterans, a lot of us that are dealing with these kind of issues. If you're a veteran or a survivor, you can file claims now to apply for PACT Act related benefits. So pay attention. We'll give you more information on that. And also, if you need help, you can also contact us at Champions for Veterans. All right. What does it mean to have a presumptive condition for toxic exposure? To get a VA disability rating, your disability must connect to your military service. For many health conditions, you need to prove that your service caused your condition. Now, let me stop here. It's kind of like I tell veterans when I'm talking to them. I had to fight so hard to get my back service connected. It wasn't presumptive that because I served 20 years in combat arms and 11 years in special forces and cup in the Ranger Battalion and had 120 jumps out of airplanes. That wasn't presumptive that my back got jacked up doing that. I had to fight extremely hard to get my back service connected because it wasn't presumed, it wasn't presumptive. Uh, this is not that. This is going to help so many veterans. Okay, let's continue. But for some conditions, the VA automatically assumes or presumes that your service caused your condition. The VA calls these presumptive conditions. The VA considers a condition presumptive when it's established by law or regulation. If you have a presumptive condition, you don't need to prove that your service caused the condition. You only need to meet the service requirements for the presumption. That's what we're going to go into next. If you are in these locations, if you served in those areas, these conditions are going to be presumed that you're going to have them, the burn pit issues. You're not going to have to fight to prove something so crazy like I did dealing with my back. Okay. And this is going to help a whole lot of veterans here. All right. Gulf War era and 9/11, a 9/11 veteran eligibility. Okay. What burn pit and other toxic exposure conditions are now presumptive? This is very, very important right here. Okay. The VA added more than 20 burn pit and other toxic exposure presumptive conditions based on the PACT Act. This change expands benefits for Gulf War era and post 9/11 veterans. Now, I won't read all of these because a lot of medical terms and I would really mess them up. Okay, so I'm going to keep this up here and I'm going to hit the ones that I make sure I can pronounce correctly, right? Because it's very important that you understand that, because we got a lot of veterans dealing with these issues, and I want to make sure you can take your time and screenshot these. Um, so brain cancer, head cancer of any kind, kidney cancer. I mean, this is very, very important. Look at the neck cancer, pancreatic cancer, and these are the types of things that many of them in the past was not presumptive. But now, if you're dealing with these issues and you served in these areas, okay, keep on again following the video and then get the information and get a deeper understanding of it. You need to file for your benefits, okay? Gulf War era and post 9/11 veteran eligibility. Okay, this is our second sheet on this, our second slide here. So these illnesses are now presumptive. Okay, again, I'm gonna leave this up. I'm gonna hit some of them. Asthma that was diagnosed after service. So oftentimes the veteran will go into service and things, you say, well, you didn't have asthma before you went in and now you served in some of these areas and now you got it. Okay. Even if it came up afterwards and you can prove you're in these areas, that's now presumptive. This is huge. You know, all these other different areas, chronic rhinitis, chronic sinusitis, you know, these are issues that a lot of people are dealing with, breathing issues, emphysema, things of that nature. And so, you need to take a look at this, uh, because if you're suffering COPD, all these kind of different things, get help. It's out there for you. And please, forward this video to your veteran buddies, uh, and help those men and women out, at least with this information, so they can kind of start the process moving forward. Again, you can screenshot that and get more details on your specific issue that you're dealing with. Okay, Gulf War era and post 9/11 veteran eligibility. Okay, if you served in any of these locations and time periods, the VA determined that you had exposure to burn pits or other toxins. The VA calls this having a presumption of exposure. Same thing again. Okay, so on or after September the 11th, 2001, in any of these areas, look at that: Afghanistan, Djibouti, Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, Uzbekistan, Yemen. The airspace above any of these locations. So if you were flying above these locations, I mean, that still applies. You know, when you look at some of those videos from burn pits, and I personally was not over there, but I've seen a lot of videos online. So think about flying in a plane or helicopter or something like that above those areas. You still definitely could have been affected by this. All right. Gulf War era, post 9/11 veterans eligibility. On or after August 2nd, 1990, in any of these locations: Bahrain, Iraq, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, the UAE, United Arab Emirates. Again, the airspace above any of these locations also. Am I eligible for free VA health care as a post 9/11 combat veteran? All right. So the VA is extending and expanding VA health care eligibility based on the PACT Act. The VA encourages you to apply no matter your separation date. Your eligibility depends on your service history and other factors. If you meet the requirements listed here, you can get free VA health care for any conditions related to your service for up to 10 years from the date of your most recent discharge or separation. You can also enroll at any time during this period and get any care you need, but you must uh, you may have a copay or a copay for in some cases, but you may owe a copay in some cases. So uh, this is the reason I tell vets to go after their VA benefits, right? Get the percentages you need so you can get the VA to pay for this stuff without having to have a copay. If you believe you got 100% worth of stuff on your body, or if you can prove that, you know, of course, Champions for Veterans, we help veterans move up and get the benefits they deserve. And again, you may not have 100% worth of stuff on your body, but you may get this stuff service connected. Okay, you may get it service connected and getting it service connected, and then also moving into a place where you can have some other issues taken care of, and so you can get it taken care of, period, by the VA with no copay. So but this is very interesting. Make sure you kind of just follow this and start doing your due diligence. And again, you can contact us. I'll give you our contact information at the end of the presentation. So there are other details that qualify you for these benefits. Again, please go to va.gov/PACT. All right. So Vietnam era veterans eligibility. Based on PACT Act, the VA added 2 new Agent Orange presumptive conditions. This is huge, vets. High blood pressure, also called hypertension. So if you're a Vietnam vet, you are over in these areas that we're going to show you in just a little bit, and you're dealing with high blood pressure or hypertension, that is presumptive. I mean, you got to understand how big that is. You need to go ahead and file for this, because this goes into other things that can happen to you if you happen to pass from something dealing with hypertension or a heart attack. Other benefits can be available for you and for your family. So don't just say, you know, I've been on this high blood pressure medication, I was exposed to Agent Orange, I'm not going to apply. You need to go ahead and apply for this. Absolutely. This is a word that I've seen many people try to say. I'm not even going to try. Okay. It's MGUS. All right. Undetermined significance. I'm gonna let you figure that out. But again, if you're suffering for that, also, you know, make sure you get that taken care of and apply. Okay. If you think you're eligible for VA health care and benefits, the VA encourages you to apply now. Vietnam era veteran eligibility. All right. So the VA added 5 new locations to the list of presumptive locations. Okay, so if you're over in the Vietnam era and you had to go and do something in these areas, these are 5 new areas. Okay, uh, any U.S. or Royal Thai military base in Thailand. Those are the dates right there. January the 9th, 1962 through June the 30th, 1976. Laos from December 1965 through September the 30th, 1969. Okay, you got Cambodia at Mithawk and Kirk. And if I'm not pronouncing these correctly, y'all blame it on the head, not the heart. Okay, and look at these other different provinces, and also that those dates go from April 16th to 16th, 1969 through April the 30th, 1969. Look at Guam or American Samoa in the territories of waters off Guam or American Samoa from January the 9th, 1962 through July the 30th, 1980. Johnston Alton, or on a ship that called at Johnston Alton from January 1, 1972 through September the 30th, 1977. Many of the things that you're going to see, even out at sea, is where they stored Agent Orange, different places that they stored Agent Orange, and it was carried on these ships to these different locations. That's why this affects sailors also. Or if you were just on that base doing something, right? So if you're served on active duty in any of these locations, the VA automatically assumes or presumes that you had exposure to Agent Orange. This is big time right here for the Vietnam era vets. Please get this to them so that they can start. And again, reach out to Champions for Veterans. We would love to help you with this also. All right, Vietnam era eligibility. What new radiation presumptive locations will the VA add? Good question. Okay. So during the Vietnam era, there were some planes that crashed that had some nuclear things on it, had some radiation on it, and some veterans went to clean that up. And so you'll see a couple of different places, and we're going to talk about some of those things right here. Okay, clean up. And this was Iwata Alton. Okay, again, January 1, 1977 through December 31st, 1980. You see a location here in Spain where B-52 bomber carried nuclear weapons off the coast of Palmares, Spain. Okay, January the 17th, 1966 through March 31st, 1967. You see a place here in Greenland, all right, where again, Air Force B-52 bomber carrying nuclear weapons. Something happened here. January the 21st, 1968 to September the 25th, 1968. Okay, if you took part in any of these efforts, the VA automatically assumes or presumes that you had exposure to radiation. All right. Can veteran spouses, survivors, get compensation payments under the PACT Act? That's a yes. If you're a surviving family member of a veteran, you may be eligible for these benefits: a monthly VA dependency and indemnity compensation, VA DIC payment. You may qualify if you're the surviving spouse, dependent children, or parent of a veteran who died from a service-connected disability. This is one of the reasons we tell vets, get your issues service-connected. Even if you are 100% from something else, but you read this and you say, wait a minute, I need to get these things service-connected also. we always recommend veterans do that because it's gonna make a difference that your dependents can receive compensation, or maybe may be able to receive compensation if you pass from those service-connected issues. So definitely pay attention. One-time occurred benefits payment. This is another eligibility. You may qualify if you're the surviving spouse, dependent child, or dependent parent of a veteran who we owed unpaid benefits at the time of their death. A survivor's pension. You may qualify if you're the surviving spouse or child of a veteran with wartime service. All right. PACT Act of 2022, additional information. This is the link to the actual PACT Act. I'm sure will be also added in the notes on this video. And you can go to this. I always recommend people, this is a quick overview, just giving you the information that, hey, this is out there and you may want to check into that. It's not as detailed as it's going to be, of course, when you look at it yourself. So this is the link right here. Of course, it'll be also in the video. We recommend you go to that link and get deeper into your specific issues. All right. So, a little information about the PACT Act. This new law will affect 3.5 to 5 million veterans. This is a $300 billion law and a huge win. $300 billion law and a huge win. Starting October the 1st, 2022. Now, unless you are, and again, as recording of this video, it's the middle of October 2022, so it's already started. But listen, if you're terminally ill or homeless or under extreme financial hardship, or if you're more than 85 years old, okay, or capable of demonstrating other significant causes, if you're suffering from any of these things right here, you can move up the line in getting these things taken care of through the VA. So that's why we recommend you immediately get some help. Again, you can reach out to us also. We'll definitely love to help you, but start moving on getting these things taken care of if you fit in any of those categories. All right. How we help. I'm glad you asked. We have an online program called the Ranger Method that gives you the tools you need to get the rating you've earned. It's an online course. You'll see me, Ranger Johnson, teaching that course online, and we're excited to be able to help you. Okay, we have coaching and a veteran community. We have winning statements, templates. That is huge. This was a major thing that it was a blessing that God gave me to create. How to write these statements, how to put my story together. And in turn, now I started teaching veterans how to do that. And I can tell you these statements are incredible. And these statement examples will help you put your case together. And we teach you that, and you get that when you become a part of our course. All right. Go to www.championsforveterans.com. That's championsforveterans.com. Click the link in the description below to schedule a free consult. We have veterans standing by. You can go on there and schedule some time. They will have a free consult to meet with you so can talk about some of your issues and go over the things that's going on with you. And so listen, I hope and pray you've learned a lot from this lesson on the PACT Act of 2022. And I want to close out like I always do on my videos. This is Ranger Johnson. To stay in the fight.